Breaking news alerts, top stories, and your weather authority forecast. You're watching Idaho's first news in HD.
Good morning, Southern Idaho, and thank you very much for joining us right here on Rise and Shine. Now, before we get into our news this morning, as I mentioned in our last half hour, you may have noticed a little bit of accumulation of snow overnight. If and or when we do have any school closures, we'll have all of those for you right here this morning. So make sure you stay tuned to Rise and Shine and to our website where you can find all of those school closures. But the time is now 6:30, so we will get right into our top story this morning. A Jerome school was placed on lockdown Thursday following a police chase. Police tried to pull over the driver of a Chevy Trailblazer that had been reported stolen. The suspected thief led police on a chase until the driver fled the vehicle and ran into a Jerome neighborhood. The CSI Head Start Center was put on lockdown as a precaution for about 20 minutes.
Trooper only had a brief second to get a visual on the driver, but was, as far as we know right now, we're just looking for a male driver, average height, average build. We don't have really much more information than that.
Now, that perpetrator has still not been located as of this morning. An ongoing drug investigation in the Mini-Cassia area has resulted in the arrest of two Utah men. 38-year-old Melvin Smith of West Valley, Utah, and 38-year-old Lenny Brummer of Salt Lake City were arrested in Hayburn late last week and charged with trafficking cocaine. At the time of the arrest, the two men were found with over a pound of the drug. Now, the men were arraigned on the drug charges Monday. Their bond has been set at $100,000 each. The street value of the cocaine found in their possession is about $30,000. An Idaho-based website is proposing a ballot measure for upcoming elections as a solution for raising tuition rates. StopTuitionHikes.com wants to raise cigarette taxes by $1.50. About 80% of that would go towards undergraduate tuition fees, with 10% being used to fight tobacco use. To make it to the ballot, the website needs to collect 47,000 signatures.
Whatever we can do in the state of Idaho to make tuition more affordable and keep it more affordable, I think is something that people are going to have to decide. Do we want this on the ballot? Do we want to pass it? And it would be a good thing for higher education in Idaho.
Mon says that one concern Idahoans have is whether or not people will continue smoking after the tax hike. The group does need the required signatures by April. The family of a young woman who is speech impaired and hard of hearing is singing the praises of Apple and Sun Valley Company for helping rescue the young woman's lost iPhone. The phone was lost in deep snow on Bald Mountain. Leslie Berry, a California resident who regularly visits Sun Valley with her family, says her daughter needs the phone to communicate and survive, even more than most teenagers. So losing the phone was a big oopsies. Fortunately, though, Apple's Find My iPhone service and several Sun Valley employees came to the rescue.
Everybody was helping and digging and trying to listen to that beep when you hear Find My Phone. And there were a lot of false starts, but people thought they found something and then it wasn't it. And then finally, one of the guys said, "I found it," and he raised it up, and my daughter went and hugged him, and we all cheered.
Some other amazing Find My Phone recoveries include a reported North Texas businessman who used Find My iPhone to find his iPhone in a pasture after it fell nearly 10,000 feet during a flight from Houston. With that, we'll now turn things over to meteorologist Jack Holland. I said it in the 5:30 half hour too. The end of that story sounds a little bit like Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
How does a phone survive that?
That's pretty crazy. Very cool app, though. Do you have that app?
I do have that app. I think it comes automatically with the iPhone now, right?
Oh, does it?
I think so.
It may.
I don't think I have it set up, so you're more than welcome to steal my phone. It can't hold a charge to save its life, though.
All right, after you get done doing this...
No pun intended there.
Yeah.
Oh.
After you get done doing this bus stop forecast, download it.
Okay.
Figure it out, just in case.
I'll try.
All right.
All right. Hey, but we are talking about some snow showers that moved through late last night and early this morning, so look out for those slick roadways this morning. Here's your satellite and radar showing a lot of that activity has kicked off into eastern Idaho and portions of northern Utah. There are still a few flakes in Elmore County, so we cannot completely rule out the chance to see a few flurries this morning. We still have a winter weather advisory in effect until 11 o'clock this morning for the eastern Magic Valley. The one in the western edge of the Magic Valley has been allowed to expire. 28 is what you're waking up to in Twin Falls and Burley. 27 for you in Jerome, and upper teens in the Wood River Valley. Winds not much of an issue at this hour, but they will be picking up as we head into the afternoon. Wind chill values still feel like they're in the single digits in the Wood River Valley. 7 is what it feels like outside in Haley, 19 in Jerome, and 23 in Twin Falls. So as you get those kids ready for school this morning, here's our Delta Dental School Bus forecast. Expect to have overcast skies, a few isolated flakes. It's going to be chilly. Make sure they bundle up. If you are driving them to school, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get there on time. Mid-30s this afternoon, mostly cloudy, some peaks of sunlight, breezy and cool with those winds out of the west anywhere between 10 to 20 miles per hour. What can we expect this weekend? Your full Weather Authority forecast is coming up here in just a few minutes. Bradley?
Over in world news this morning, more details are emerging following Thursday's ISIS terror attack in Indonesia. Authorities in the country believe they know the identities of the 5 dead attackers and say 2 were previously imprisoned on terror charges. At least 2 people were killed, more than 20 injured when militants attacked a Starbucks and a police booth in downtown Jakarta using bombs and bullets. Back here in the States, the Republican presidential candidates are back on the campaign trail 1 day after squaring off in their 6th debate. Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, who are neck and neck in Iowa, clashed over the birther issue and New York values, while Marco Rubio and Chris Christie went back and forth on gun control and Planned Parenthood. The candidates also took shots at President Obama's State of the Union address and challenged Trump's plan to ban all Muslims from the U.S. And the winners of the $1.5 billion Powerball jackpot have yet to come forward. Lottery officials revealed golden tickets were sold in California, Florida, and Tennessee. California gives its winners a year to come forward, while winners in Tennessee and Florida only have 180 days. One of the original Tuskegee Airmen is laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. The moving ceremony comes 70 years after the World War II hero was killed in action. It also comes as other pilots from the greatest generation are being excluded from the honor. Craig Boswell has the story of 2 families steeped in military history.
Samuel Lieutenant received full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery more than 70 years after he was killed in action during World War II.
He earned it. He earned it.
Lieutenant's plane collided midair with another aircraft during a mission over Austria in 1945. His body was never recovered. This ceremony finally honored one of the first black aviators, part of the elite Tuskegee Squadron. Lieutenant also fought segregation and helped change the course of military history.
These are my grandmother's cremains.
Other families are still fighting for the same recognition. Elaine Harmon was one of the Women's Air Force service pilots, known as WASPs. The trained fighter pilot flew non-combat missions during World War II and was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. She died last April, and her granddaughter, Erin Miller, is fighting to bring her ashes to Arlington, too. Some WASPs have already been buried there, but last year, former Army Secretary John McHugh revoked their eligibility.
According to the Army, the rights granted in the 1970s to the WASP do not extend to the Department of the Army, which runs Arlington Cemetery.
Arlington National Cemetery issued a statement saying the service of women Air Force service pilots during World War II does not, in itself, reach the level of active duty service required for internment at Arlington National Cemetery. Arizona Congresswoman Martha McSally, herself a retired Air Force pilot, has introduced a bill to allow the cremated remains of women who flew non-combat missions during World War II to be laid to rest here. Miller is getting support from the Lieutenant family, which finally saw its dream come true, to put Samuel to rest among other American heroes. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Arlington, Virginia.
The cemetery also says that WASPs were never eligible and those already buried happened by mistake. Jack?
And we'll take a look at those weather headlines for today, where we did see snow showers late last night and really early this morning, causing snow-covered roadways. So look out for that during your morning commute. We will have dry conditions into the afternoon with a quiet overnight, but we're going to be seeing some more active weather as we head into the weekend. When can we expect to see more rain and snow showers to the valleys? I'll let you know with your full Weather Authority forecast after the break.
Plus, there is a dangerous new illness worrying vets and pet owners across the country. We'll have that story after Jack's full Weather Authority forecast.